Hello, everyone. Okay, cool. For a second there, I forgot to hit unmute on my Streamlabs. Welcome in, Mary, Nebby, Daisy, Lay, and whoever else is tuning in today. That did rhyme. Welcome to our first stream at the new place that I am living at. New room echo? Oh my goodness, you guys can hear echo. Is it bad? Okay, that's good. I can give you guys a little bit of a look actually at the room. Just gonna quickly move my headphones. Alright, let me lift the camera up. You can see my face. It's me. So we have the shelves that you may have seen sometimes if you've seen my camera, like face cam before. We've put them on two sides of my roller desk. Oh my god, sorry. Murray, you can try again. I forgot to press the button. Alright. Go for it now. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, we have some altars up there, and then there's some stuff here. If I move. I wonder if I can turn my camera in the way that went. There's a mirror there. This is a bedroom, but I'm using it as an office. Okay, I'll turn the camera in the way that's good. I don't want to get it down from the thing. Alright, well, yeah. It looks cool, and I might show you a different side of the room another time, but for now, this is the classic view. I can fix it back up. Thank you, I'm glad you guys think that it looks good. I'm happy with it too. I've never had a room like this where I could just put my stuff without it being a bedroom. I've always been a bedroom practitioner, I guess you could say. But yeah, now we have this whole office, which is super nice. Double cool, I guess. I'm going to quickly unplug and then replug in my mic just in case it's being a bit weird. So just give me 1 second. I don't know if it's going to change the audio or anything, but... Alright, I've just plugged it back in. I think it's just how it was before. That's okay. Alright, Neppy, feel free to put your request in the chat. I'm gonna quickly put my Twitch link in self-promo channel. Oh my goodness. Measuring Cup gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh cool, and some of the subs went to people who are in the chat right now. Here in the chat. So Daisy got one, Neppy got one, and a few people who are not here at the moment. That's awesome. Big W's indeed, thank you. Hello. Feel free to join the queue for a reading. Been a while since you go to bed early now. Oh, that's so true. That's real. Oh, yay! Oh, how come my PNG tuber is not working? I'm gonna refresh it. I'm glad that it's working now. It's really strange that it wasn't before. But now you're here. So welcome, if you didn't hear me say welcome before. There we go. Some technical bits and bobs. Because you know how like sometimes like you'll be using the same computer, but like in a different location, and you're like, oh well maybe it'll be different. It won't, because it's literally the same PC doing the same stuff, just in a different place. But yeah. It's a very niche, random thing. Hello Nico, welcome in. Alright, so for Neppy we're spinning the deity wheel. Just trying to see what decks to use. Use this Magic Gathering Oracle, and let's just pair it up with the Dungeons and Dragons Tarot as well. Oh, I also just realized I need to do my hymn to Hermes. I suppose this is what happens when it's been a couple weeks since I've streamed. I forget a very important hymn. So as usual, we dedicate these streams to Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Hear me, Hermes, messenger of Zeus, son of Maia, almighty in heart, lord of the deceased, judge of contests, gentle and clever Argefontes. You are the guide of the flying sandals, a man-loving prophet to mortals. Vigorous god, you delight in exercise and in deceit. Interpreter of all you are, and a profiteer who frees us of cares, who holds in his hands the blameless tool of peace. Lord of Korikos, blessed, helpful, and skilled in words, you assist in work, and you are a friend of mortals in need. You wield the dreaded, the respected weapon of speech. Hear my prayer and grant a good end to a life of industry, gracious talk, and mindfulness. Alright. Oh, you know what? I can also do a little bonus today for people wanting readings with Hellenic deities, because I have my clay knuckle bone dice here that I made. I can get them out of the bag. And also my the guidebook as well. It has the different oracles in it. So yeah, Nappy, are you interested in receiving a dice oracle as well as the cards? Yes, okay. We'll do the cards first. Do you mean like the result? Like I show it to you to the camera? Or do you mean like you want to see what the dice look like now? Okay. I'll show you right before I roll them. So let's draw some cards first. Did I say that Apollon wanted reading with you? I don't know if I mentioned that because I was thinking in my brain. But I was kind of making this joke about like how the sun hasn't shone on my like table in a while, and it's like it was just a colloquial way of saying that we haven't done a reading with him in a little bit. Okay, I just said it in my head. Yeah, it's Apollon who wanted to have a reading with you. He was saying like, oh, it's been a while. Flying out. Alright, so the cards are drawn. I'll show you my dice here. So they're like it's a long rectangular prism, and on each side there are the numbers 1, 3, 4, and 6. The 6 is kind of like squished. But yeah, I just got some air dry clay and I made these shapes. They're not perfect, so they don't roll like super perfectly. But I have still found that the oracles can be quite accurate. But yeah, I just mark it with these dots because it's easier than kind of like drawing the number on for me. And I made 5 of them here. And like I wouldn't like, you know, throw it at a brick wall or anything, but you know, they can drop on the floor and generally not break apart. Would have been really funny if I dropped it there and it broke apart, but yeah, all good. One day I would like to buy like replicas of knucklebone dice as they like were in ancient Greece, as they were used. But the only ones I can find right now are in the US, which means I would have to pay quite a bit for shipping. So that's not really an option for me at this time. Or like, I don't want to like fork out the money for the shipping right now, but yeah, these ones work pretty well. And I love doing these knucklebone dice readings because it's very poetic too, which you'll see in a moment here, because we'll roll for Neppy's reading. Yeah, they are cool, thank you. Usually we use these for like yes, no questions, but in this case I want to use it as a way of like understanding the tone of the reading. I see that there was a super cool update in the chat, which I'll read in a second. I'm just going to roll these dice. So we'll ask Apollon for his message for these oracle dice. Okay, well, if it drops, it drops. So you got 66631. So I'm gonna quickly check, because I like started a digital version of this oracle table so I could like more easily search them, because you have to like kind of manually search it if it's in the book. So what I usually do when I draw one is I kind of like Control F in my spreadsheet to see if I've already added it, because it's a work in progress. So 666. I'm looking for 66631, which I have found. So I know that it is the Renowned Fates, which reads, oops, I see my little guy has started doing stuff as well because I was pressing numbers. Okay, so your oracle, the Renowned Fates. A single one, 3 sixes, the fifth a free. Put not your hand into the mouths of wolves, for you may suffer harm. What you ask of me is difficult and uncertain. Even so, you will end this road in unproductive wandering in peace. So this oracle usually means that, you know, when you are asking for some sort of advice or opinion from a deity, they're sort of like, the response to you is to, you know, not intentionally put yourself in a place where you don't want to be. And that if you do that, right, like if you happen to put your hand in the mouth of a wolf and then you go to Apollo and you say, hey, can you help me with this wolf who has its mouth around my hand? He's going to be like, well, it's kind of difficult and uncertain, you know, the situation because you put your hand there. But then he also concludes that even so, like even through this pathway, even as you're working things out, and even if he may not necessarily be able to help in certain things, he still believes that this path will end peacefully, will end with a good outcome, a positive outcome that you're looking for. So that's the start. For now, I'm going to close the queue, just because these readings might be a bit longer today, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to quickly read Measuring Cups updates. Looking for clarity on career pivot. A week after you got another interview, and by the time you got home from the interview, they called straight away offering the job. Oh, that is so cool. Like, that's such a like rare thing, I find. I feel like, to get called straight away to have the job. But you've literally been working there, and like you say, it's amazing. So I'm so happy that it turned out for you. That's so good. Alright, Neppy. So your first tarot card is Strength. And then we have Judgment. And then the 10 of Wisdom. So these tarot cards, they all prompt this feeling of like a new journey. Or not necessarily a new journey, but like a journey. Movement on the journey. Something that you take up in like both hands and you kind of like go at it. It kind of reminds me, you know, it is a D&D deck, but literally of like an adventurer taking on a quest and being determined and putting their all into it. It's like this pathway that you truly care about and you want to see good things happen from it. And this is sort of Apollon's check of approval for you. And perhaps even in combination with this, this Dice Oracle is this idea of trusting yourself and your own judgment and your ability to move on your path, rather than trying to wait for him or another deity to even tell you how to navigate something or what to do. He's saying, well, actually you have a bit more of a head on your shoulders than you think. You're a bit more stronger than you think. You have a bit more skills than you think you have, more capability than you may think. I don't like, usually when I pull the word the card Judgment, I don't use the word at face value like judgment, but in this case he actually is, like, based on the like what I had just said as well about trusting your own judgment. I think here he's you know, I typically see the angel in the background represented, or representing the deity in question. And here, there's this sort of idea around him opening his heart and saying, go forth, like, you walk forward and see where you go. Like, let me stand behind you rather than in front of you. With all these bits of inspiration and little pieces of advice and wisdom that I've given you recently, like, how will you use these to move forward? The Ten of Wisdom is particularly a very cool card in terms of capability, because we see this combination of the heart and mind. So this like little shape here is representing the heart, and then we have this cool dragon creature here at the top representing the mind. And the Ten of Wisdom signifies like coming to the climax of something, or like even the conclusion of something, but not necessarily as an ending, but as an ending to like, okay, not necessarily an ending, but more so here is a milestone you have reached. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So like, you have accumulated something in heart and mind that he's encouraging you to cultivate on this path of yours, to trust in this path of yours. I think that goes really well with this oracle card here that says your true self returned. I think returned here is a very important word, where he's referencing something that you feel like you've lost, that you once had, and you wonder to yourself, will I get this again? The same motivation, the same feeling, the same goal, the same ambition, even the same like ability. I had it once, will I have it again? He says yes, you will, because it's part of who you are, part of your true self, and it's not something that can be masked away or hidden away. It will always be revealed, and he says always be cracked open. I'm glad I'm nailing it, because I feel like I'm trying to warm up my voice a little bit, and I feel like I'm stuttering a little bit, but at least if the words are coming through, then that's good. Also, thank you for the follow, Messa. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so yes, this is the next card, Unlocking Power, Elspeth. This is like literally the same as these cards here, right? We have like this figure coming forth, taking a stance, like taking a mantle. All of these cards are very, very similar in the message and the imagery that is being shown. I think Unlocking Power is a really cool pair of words here, because it's like, he just referenced these worries about not having something that you once did, and he's actually coming in saying, well, there may actually be something new for you. There's something that is being unlocked, and it's not just about returning to the past and grabbing what's from the past, but in returning to your true self, you allow yourself to stand in what is new and mysterious and unknowable. Yeah, all the great things that comes with working with the deity. All the things that come with not knowing something. It's like there's power in that too. This last card is Medicine, Farika, which is interesting. And it reminds me of Apollon's domain of healing, right? He's considered a god of healing as well as plague, so both sides. In the same way here that we have this card referencing medicine, and yet there's a lot of snake imagery, and we associate snakes, yes, with health in a lot of symbolism and iconography, but also with, kind of getting poisoned and being harmed. And so there's the sense of duality coming out here that Apollon has, that he's referencing. And at least from what I know, like, a lot of your focus with Apollon so far has been with divination and other realms of his domains. And here may be an opportunity to explore the way that you fit into this other domain of his around healing and plagues and this duality and this ability to be two things at once, basically. But yeah, that is your reading for today from Apollon, Nippy. Also, Duality Machine, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Yes, I will wait for your typing. Let's see your typing. Oh, is that Agricultural Society Club? It's like you found yourself again. Oh, you're the agricultural leader in high school, but this society is based on getting connection in industry. Wow, that's pretty awesome. You just applied for the first year rep role and you're also inquiring about the ICMJ club, which is meat judging. Wow, I've never heard of that. That's so good that you're really excited about it. Feel free to keep typing. I'm just gonna move the queue forward. So Mary, feel free to write your request in the chat. You can write a specific question and a specific deity or spirit that you'd like to hear from. But be sure to read my rules in the About section or type, I think /rules to read my rules about what's, about what's good to be asked and what may be better for someone else. I'm glad it resonated so much. And yes, I'm more than happy to hear your story in DMs as well. And thank you for sending the rules command. I can't believe I keep forgetting my own commands. Silly, silly me. So you're after reading with Hecate, you had a dream with her last night, and did a recent reading recently about it. She mentioned you being in a space of patience and healing while the right opportunity comes along. Okay, yeah, sounds great. And it makes a deck choice pretty easy because there are 2 decks I use for her. I'm just going to quickly pack these other decks away. I was trying to put the wrong deck in the wrong box. Thank you. Yeah, the collection has really grown since I started streaming, and I think it's cool to have all these options now for people. I mean, we tend to see kind of the same group of decks as well because some of them are highly like specific. So for example, we have an Archangel Gabriel deck, which I mostly only use for Archangel Gabriel, so that one doesn't come out as often. Or like I have a few Egyptian decks which only come out for like Egyptian deities, and these Hecate decks only for Hecate, except when she approves for different deities as well related to her. But yeah, it's fun. Did you want to have a Dice Oracle as well, like I did for Neppy? Cool. We'll pull these cards first to see what message the card means for you. If there's any other messages, and then we'll roll the dice. Alright, so this oracle I'm gonna have to search in the book because I don't have it in my spreadsheet. So you got 4, 3, 666. Page 149. So your oracle, it's this page, you can't really read it, but I think the page looks cool. It reads, the shining month. 1 4 falls, 3 6s, the 5th are free. With courage you will have the opportunity to achieve your desire. You will succeed by dashing to your goal. Your efforts will be rewarded. You are bound, however, to strive for greater good in a just struggle. Which I think is a funny oracle, considering like you just mentioned about patience and stuff and healing while waiting for the right opportunity to come along. And she does affirm that by saying that you will have the opportunity to achieve your desire, which is great. But it's funny that she says you will succeed by dashing to your goal. And we can unpack that a little bit as well about what that might mean in this context. She does affirm your efforts will be rewarded. And then in the last line, she says, you are bound, however, to strive for the greater good in a just struggle. Which I think that makes sense as well, where it's like, there is something more for you to achieve, there's something more for you to strive for, You know, don't limit yourself and what you can achieve with her. And also this will come with a just struggle. So like a struggle that kind of, I would say, like matches or is kind of suitable for the weight of what it is that you are striving for. Which makes sense. It's like patience for healing and the right opportunity. So looking at the tarot cards, we start with the Ace of Cups, which I really like because the Ace of Cups not only represents like new opportunities, new relationships, and, you know, feeling, but it's like an overflow of feeling, an overabundance of feeling and emotion and love. And it feels as though Hecate here wants to encourage you to experience this, to experience the overflow of love and compassion, not only from her to you, but you towards yourself, and how you as a person can acknowledge all the ways that you are deserving of, you know, even like your own thanks. Like it makes me think of how I saw this actually, like this post today, and the caption was, you know, I love myself. She takes care of me, she buys me nice things, she feeds me good food, she takes me places. And it's like this idea of like reframing how, you know, if you were to see the things you do for yourself from a different perspective, as if it were like someone else doing it, like what feelings would come of that? How grateful would you feel? Not because you feel obligated to be grateful, but because like it's just that feeling of pure gratitude. Like that's what this Ace of Cups feels like. Feeling not out of obligation, but just pure inspiration to feel, you know. So this is the Tower, very clearly. And when I pulled this card, there was like this phrase that immediately came to mind, where it was sort of like, your tower is your inability to shift it, which is to say, like, your tower, the thing that is your tower is not necessarily, you know, things being destroyed and the tower falling over and tipping over or anything. It's the fact that you can't move it, that you can't just pick it up or push it like a mountain, right? It's immovable in a sense. And she says that is your tower, and it kind of relates to this patience and healing message as well, where sometimes it is to be in stillness. Like learning to be in stillness is the most difficult part, as opposed to chaotic like rushes and chaotic like stuff all going on at once. This feels like an acknowledgement of what she said, and also a bit of an analogy to think over in regards to your situation. The Knight of Cups, which kind of goes well with the Ace of Cups here. And knights typically represent movement and action being taken towards a goal. And I think this knight is quite sweet as well, because he kind of like he represents this idea of inaction in a sense. Like he's sitting here, or standing here, more so, with his helmet, his visor up. He's kind of having this like break. He looks out to the distance with a calm expression and a slight smile on his face too. And the way he holds the cup is very casual. It's kind of like you're having a drink at a party. And she wants this to be you. Someone who does embody movement, someone who does embody the ability to make things happen, but also someone who is present in the moment and able to just lift the visor sometimes, not be afraid of a sword coming at your face, and just sit there and like look out there with a drink in your hand and think, wow, like this is where I am, this is where I'm going, this is where I've made it, is a big one. Like she really shows me this image of you being in this like, I don't know if it's like a restaurant, a bar, some sort of venue, like a party, and you just take this moment and you think, wow, like I really made it here. That's the feeling that she wants from this card. Queen of Swords is a card I associate with Hecate herself, because this is a woman who knows boundaries, a woman who knows communication. She is unafraid to show all sides of herself, you know, double-edged. You know, I should get my words right. Double-edged sword. She's like that. She is a sword that does a lot. She knows how to use a sword in many, many ways. And so this card is almost like, trust me, like I get it, I know it. I have been through the things you've been through too. She's saying, I know what it means to be patient. Like, she says, sometimes people will doubt her, and when she doubt her and her ability to be patient, or to even offer the advice of being patient, because Hecate is also associated with a lot of chaos, like this, like the tower, right? A lot of people will say, my life was ruined, or my life completely changed, or Hecate did this, and took these things away, and brought these things in, and completely changed everything. But here, she's almost like, I'm calm, I'm sitting here with you, I'm not going anywhere. And it makes sense, because she's the liminal goddess. She sits in the liminality, she has to stay in what doesn't move and what does move sometimes, but like, what is in between? What is beyond? What she can't control? She exists in that, and that's like part of the lesson is getting to know her more in these ways too. In what ways does she embody this patience and healing and balance? Alright, your last two cards are these oracle cards here, which are Orania, the heavenly one, purity, and Artemis, independence. I think purity as a card is not so much in like the purification sense of like you need to purify or saying you're unclean or anything like that. I think it really just is the energy of patience and healing, as you've mentioned, where it's this feeling of even if you can't see what is ahead, even if it's a bit shadowed away or it's a bit of a silhouette rather than something with exact details, knowing where you can trust yourself to go or where you can trust yourself to look. This card makes me think of higher perception, which is a card in a different deck, but it's very similar in the sense of being in the sky and this imagery of wings and this imagery of like being higher, obviously because higher perception. And so when she brings up this card, there's almost this moment of assurance that you will receive more clarity through this journey, and that your clarity isn't the destination, it's actually all the journey. Like you will continue receiving clarity every day, every step of this journey, and it will make the so-called reveal, she says, at the end even more worth it and understandable in a sense. Because it's not like you're stagnant just because you're being patient. You're still doing stuff, but it's just a shift in mindset. And an Artemis, independence. Which, when I saw this card, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It just like checks out for me in terms of the context. Because I feel like a lot of the journey right now as well is learning to be independent with the gods. So it's not like being independent despite or aside from the gods, but being independent alongside them, which is part of what she wants to teach you too. Yeah, that is your reading for today, and I hope that resonates and makes sense. Feel free to let me know in the chat, or you can message me as well, privately. But yeah. She mentioned using discernment and your intuition, and she sort of went, yeah, the kitty gloves are coming off in a sense. Oh, that's so cute. And you're being less guided and more like you were in control, you're taking control of more things, so the Artemis card was really on point. That makes a lot of sense, especially with like this reference to like kitty gloves too, because of how Artemis is associated with youth and also coming of age. So that's really sweet. You're welcome. I'm glad that they are on point and comforting and validating for you. As a note, for you and anyone else who's just joining, if you ever want to watch back a reading or listen back to a reading, I try my best to upload all of my streams onto my YouTube channel, or one of my YouTube channels, Crossroads of Tarot. So same name, and yeah, that's usually where my VODs are. So you can go back, if you remember your timestamp, you can always go back to see what your reading was, which can be really handy. Especially if I mention things that may happen going forward, you can see if they do. I try not to do predictions, but sometimes they come up. And thank you for the hugs. You're welcome. We have Daisy up next, and while I'm waiting for the next request, small plug, feel free to go to my Ko-fi, which is linked down here, ko-fi.com/crossroadstarot, if you would like a paid reading from me. They are in written form, and typically, most of them are delivered within a week. Some of them are delivered within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending if they're like bigger packages. But yeah, I do readings similar to this where I will use tarot and oracle and also some channeling as well to describe different visions or messages coming through. So feel free to make use of that. It really helps to support my work, my projects, my service to the gods, if you're interested. Or feel free to share with your friends too. Alright, so we're getting the deity wheel with Daisy, and thank you for lurking as well, Larry, and also Neppy. Ow, the corner of this box poked me. So Daisy, you're close with Heka, right? Let's find his card in here. There is our deity of the wheel. You know, this is the second time I've seen a bar scene come up in my head, and that's probably because we have jazz music going, which makes a lot of sense. But it's really funny because I see him kind of at this like, it's like a really dim, like really dimly lit bar, but it's kind of like high end too. It's like not dingy, it's like quite fancy. And he's wearing this black suit with a blue tie, so the blue matches kind of matches his hair / headpiece in this picture. and he kind of just like leans against the bar with like one arm, and he like adjusts his sleeves. Oh, he loves jazz. Okay, that's cool. I was like, I wonder why that's coming up again with like jazz and the bar, and yeah, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, he leans against it, and it's a very shiny like how I know it's really high end is because the bar top is like it has like wood, but then there's this like something on top of it to protect the wood, and then there's like this gold trim around the bar counter, and it just looks fancy. I think this is your spread. So I'm just gonna quickly check on this, what this card is, because I'm still getting used to this deck and it uses different titles, so I need to double check. Okay, this is the Page of Water, or the Page of Cups, which is really cute. I like Page of Cups. It's a very emotional, not in a bad sense, but like the book describes it well. Like it says, the Apprentice of Water signifies the purest embodiment of emotion, intuition, and inner vision. She represents a poetic soul, one who's dreamy, imaginative, and sensitive to her surroundings. It indicates a person who feels deeply and possesses a natural psychic inclination. She is attuned to the world of dreams, symbols, and the unconscious. While she may come across as gentle and vulnerable, her insight and intuitive gifts provide her with a unique strength. This card suggests connecting to your emotional and intuitive side. Yeah, that's nice. And I feel like that makes sense, and is something that he would really like to tell you. So this one is the Six of Swords. As well, I think swords is represented not by earth. I think it's actually water once again. I will check this. Yeah, so Six of Swords, but you can tell by the boat. But yeah, this card signifies a journey, typically one where you are coming from a place that you're looking to move on from, that you're wanting to we're not wanting to outgrow, but you have outgrown, so you're looking for something new. And I like to think this is a card that indicates that you do arrive somewhere, or you will arrive somewhere that you're looking for. That the waters will change, that the environment, the scenery will change as you desire. Sometimes the journey does require you to let go of some things, or to only take what's important to you. So it's kind of like, as you travel on the boat, you shed away expectations that don't serve you, you shed away these limiting beliefs, you may, actually just stop doing certain things that you don't think will be right for you going forward anymore. It even like brings to mind this idea of decluttering, like throwing away things, like physical things that actually like have just been sitting around, that kind of, when you look at it in your room and think, oh dang, I haven't gotten around to like doing that yet. I'm getting a lot of that, like here are things that you've been procrastinating or you haven't given yourself a chance to address yet, and they're around, but they're kind of messing with your vibe. It's a bit of a casual way to say it, but in a way, Heka here is coming and saying, there is so much beyond the horizon for you. There's so much to go towards, but like as we get there, as we're going there, let's work together to clear the way for you. Like it's not just let's travel on a boat together. It's let's make sure the boat is equipped for this. Let's ensure that the things that you have brought along to the trip are equipped for this too. He says to let yourself become what it is that you want in the future, which is a opinion that is typically associated with like manifestation and stuff, and he understands that. But there's this element of, like literally, like if you want to see yourself getting to this other place, let yourself get out of your own way, like clear the way for yourself to get there. And he really emphasizes this point about something good coming on the horizon, because we have the star next here. And the star is a card that's full of hope. And I always like to bring up this concept of the North Star when the star comes up, because the star isn't just like a vague, oh, we'll have hope for the future. It's literally like, here is something that's appearing before you, like your North Star, which is used to help people, navigate in the wild when they have nothing else. If you can orient yourself, that is one way to help you like get somewhere that you need to go. If you know where north is, there's a lot that can be figured out from there. And this is the same logic here, where he says, as long as you can figure out this one important point, this one important piece of guidance, this one point of the compass, you don't even need to know the whole compass yet, just one, you'll be able to orient yourself around everything else from there. So he says, don't be afraid to like try to find that star, or to follow the star, or to explore it and to question it, to challenge it, and to like be inspired by it too. As we already addressed with the Apprentice of Water, this card is associated a lot with emotion, intuition, and allowing yourself to dive into those sparks. I love that there's the fish here, because it emulates the Page of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith, where we have the Page of Cups holding the cup with the fish coming out. And it's very much around like expecting the unexpected, allowing the unexpected to happen to you and to form around you. He says that he's someone who does like providing surprises, that he is someone who can be a bit unexpected. I personally haven't done a lot with Heka before, as a deity, but he definitely comes across with the vibes of like, because of his like ability and what he embodies, there's a lot that can just come out of nowhere. Like he can just pull something out of thin air if he wanted to, because that's kind of how he is. That's kind of the force behind him. At least that's based on how his energy is coming through now. But yeah, as the card suggested too, and as you have already been doing, because I know that you do readings and stuff, and you do communicate with the gods too, keep leaning into that, and keep allowing yourself to lean into it and explore it. Alright, so your last two cards are these oracle cards from the Egyptian Star Oracle, where we have Creation and Artistry. And also we have this card here, Purification. I see these two cards put together, creation and artistry and purification, it makes me think, turn your art into a ritual, which you may already do, and you also don't have to do it, because if it's extra, if it's not accessible to you, or like makes your art or creative process less accessible. But in this sense, he's saying, turn your art into a ritual. You know, you don't have to like always cleanse yourself up before doing something that's devotional towards the gods. And you don't always have to like do purifications before making something to give to them. But he's saying as a way of like connecting with him and others. Because he knows you like to create things already, like even like your videos, mood boards, and different pieces of arts and creation that you like share with friends. He's aware of all those things. But he's saying, you know, here's yet another way we can connect. If you really ground yourself, like in my energy, if you really ground yourself in me, and he says, let it wash over you. He mentions the word inspiration again. There's a lot of like water imagery, which is like associated with creativity, and also the water in ancient Egyptian like iconography and symbolism is like associated with life and bringing things to life. So I can see the way he's trying to put together these pieces, where he's saying, you know, allow your different interests and also abilities to come and cross over one another and become something new and cool out of that. And then there's just this image of you sitting at your table, or at a table, a desk, in a studio like environment, like it's a creative spot, and just this like seeing this spiritual water like washing over you, and he's standing behind you with his hands over you, and the water's coming from him. And yeah, this water represents inspiration, it represents purification, it represents the coming of life and creativity, it represents something being made in his honor, but with him too. Which may relate to whatever the journey is for the Six of Swords, and also what to be hopeful about, and also tapping more into your intuitive and emotional side. But yeah, that is your reading. I hope it resonated or made sense, or is something that you can revisit at a later point too. You're welcome. Do you have any certain topic in mind? Or even like an area or vibe you're going for. Oh no, past your bedtime. Thank you so much for waiting. You did wait a little bit because we're about an hour into the stream now. You did have a thought that while your new job has given you a lot of routine, it can also feel like just going through the motions. So when you do readings for yourself, okay, I'll wait for you to finish typing your message. You always feel the same and you're not sure if that's just because that's the vibe right now or down to the fact that you're still a beginner's card slinger. I love that you you said it like that, card slinger. That's awesome. I totally get it because I am so bad at doing readings for myself. I would just get so in my head about it, or like I'll just forget everything somehow. It's easier for me to tune into things and just go with the flow when I'm reading for other people. Alright, so let's see what the cards have to say about this. So I feel like this is a bit of a forward question, but how is your social life going? Like, you don't have to answer. Maybe you can just think about it if you want, and you don't have to be detailed if you do answer, but it's basically like what I asked that because what I'm already getting so far is the Hierophant, which is representative of like institutions, which in this case would be your workplace. The Nine of Pentacles, which is around like money, so it's showing like what's being told so far is that at this workplace you're earning money, which is like good. Like monetarily, it looks like it's good. Like it's steady. You're getting paid for what you do. And then we have the cards, the Lovers, and this Five of Swords, which makes me think that kind of the answer you're looking for to your question is something to do about social life. And you said that was gonna be your other question, but you didn't know how to word it. It's okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm gonna pull more cards. I feel like this is gonna be like a multi-card reading where we kind of like see the story coming out, which is a fun way to read cards. But yeah, it's looking like the stick in the mud is sort of like the social aspect of things. Like, things may feel a bit stagnant because I feel like isolation is a very strong word, but sometimes it's the word to use, like feeling like you've drifted apart from people, or feeling like the new routine that you've gotten for yourself in this job has made it difficult for you to connect with other people. You organize your life with the constellation system, which has 6 domains, and the social domain is called socialists, which is the domain you've been struggling with lately. Wow. Sorry, I didn't mean for that wow to sound like anything bad. I was like, the constellation system sounds cool, and I want to, if that's like a thing that's online that I can search up, I want to like look into it. But yeah, it's definitely showing already. I mean, the Lovers is not a bad card though. I think this card does show that it's like put some love into the social life, but let's see how you could do that as well. So there's Justice, 4 of Pentacles, Rachel, Stephanie. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look it up. Okay, cool. So the card's gonna assure you that your social life isn't like dead, like it's not gone. To be blunt, but like it's still there, and it's more so like you kind of need to be a bit more fair towards yourself, a bit more forgiving, a bit more gracious towards yourself about your situation. There's this message coming through that's saying, like, just because I don't necessarily know if your income has changed as much as in terms of like the amount you're receiving, but the vibe I'm kind of getting is like, sometimes when you get a new job and like you earn more money, you may feel tempted to like keep up with the lifestyle that your income is at, where it's sort of like you feel like you can only do things that match the income that you got if it's like at a higher end. But actually this card is saying you can do stuff that doesn't require as much planning or like bookings or money. I'm not sure if that is hitting, but like that's what I see when I see this 4 of Pentacles here, where it's like this person holding onto the money. And it's not saying you're bad for holding onto money or like thinking about spending. It's like this idea that you don't need to spend to hang out with other people. That there are ways to be social without feeling like... Okay, here's like another situation that's coming through. It's like, sometimes when we get to a point where we can spend some money to do stuff, we feel like we can't go back to the ways that we tried to spend time with each other before all that, because then it's like, oh, we're just going back to that, and like I'm supposed to be moving on and doing something different. Like, you know, you're in this new job and you may, like, I'm not saying what you're thinking, but like the example is, you know, for example, if you were saying, well, I can't like do that stuff anymore because I moved past that, like I'm at a different point now. No need to let go of the things that, well, as these cards say, that you found were really strong and successful, or that felt really good to put effort into. And also the Sun, so doing things that bring you pleasure and joy. There's this overall message of like not restricting yourself to a certain archetype or image of yourself or expectation of being just because of who you are now. And it's not saying that you're like fake or like not being genuine to yourself just because you got a new job. Like, that's not it. But it's like the focus to kind of bring this back in for yourself is to see how you can align more to your strengths, to your joy, without thinking about the money side of things, and while being a bit more gracious and fair to yourself. For example, like you feel like if there's a friend you haven't seen in a while, I got distracted because I saw the message, but I'll finish my thought. If there's a friend you haven't seen in a while, and then you like want to see them, but you're thinking, oh well, I can't see them because I haven't seen them in a while, and it'll be really awkward. Be a bit more gracious towards yourself, because people more often than not do want to spend time and want to hang out, even if it's been a while. Alright, I'll read your message now. So you get lots of invitations to go out and feel reluctant to accept. You still do because you know it's good for you. A co-worker you got along with recently has reduced their workload, and you only see them once a week. And you don't know who to hang out with at work anymore. Ah. Well, I'm feeling like as well there's people to hang out with like outside of work. Not that you should be lonely at work, because that's not fun. But, you know, cultivating, if there's one place, like if you're feeling like work is a bit more difficult and there's more barriers involved with getting to know people there, you could try to tap into other areas as well. Quite understanding, like I'm not sure if like it's a typo or if I'm just like not getting it, because you said you still do feel reluctant, but I'm not exactly sure why. Not like this, not me judging you, just wondering what I'm meant to interpret from the message. That's okay. Not a big deal because work is work, but because it's become really difficult. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, because it's not just like, I don't think you should say that it's not a big deal. Like, you know, this is kind of what this card is all about. Like, don't say it's not a big deal. Because work takes up a lot of our time in life, right? Like, work is a pretty big thing for us in our society and our way of living. So, like, it's more significant than you think, like, work relationships and the way we socialize at work. Ah, spoons, I see. Well, I think it's a similar concept, like, even if it's not about money, it's like doing things that, because as I said as well, like, it's about like effort and the things that go into making a plan come to life. I think it's better to try and reach out to people or ask people to meet you where you are at, as opposed to just saying no to plans. Because rather than not doing it at all, you could end up doing something surprisingly interesting that still kind of works with the energy that you do have, in a sense. Which, you know, easy for me to say, like, better, easier said than done in terms of experience and stuff, but yeah, like, if there is a chance, being able to negotiate or understand that you are deserving of being able to negotiate social plans in a way that works with your energy levels, you know. I feel like that this card really correlates with that feeling of okay, well, the word guilt came to mind. I'm not sure if you do feel like if guilt is the right word, but because you I like the way you said it. You feel so evil. Or I found it funny. Sorry, I don't like that you feel that way. But it's a bit humorous. But it's King of Swords, communication, and then this feeling here as well. Can represent like the lack of spoons, the feeling down. But it's literally okay, you know, to negotiate plans, because that's what friends do. If I had a friend come reach out to me, and you know, usually we did this and that and this and that, but then they just said, oh well, I don't think I can really go out that, like, I don't want to travel really far today because I'm having a lot of trouble. Well, they don't even have to explain it. They can say, I just don't want to travel far out today. Can we try somewhere close? Like, do you think you could come to me? Or is there a way that we can, like, figure something out? Like, that's a normal friend thing to do. It's also funny that the deck fell out and it's the Queen of Swords, which goes with the King of Swords. But yeah, there is nothing wrong with negotiating, because that's adult communication, I guess. Like, if you are able to clearly communicate to someone that, you know, you have this need, or you have this thing that you would rather, or you would like to discuss, then that's good. It's like the difference between going to someone and saying, hey, I just like don't have energy today, and then that's it, versus, you know, I'm low spoons right now, so I feel like maybe instead of this we can do this thing instead, or like, what do you think of doing this? So yeah, keeping it open as well. Anyway, I shouldn't be giving advice. This is about tarot reading, not my advice, but your reading overall does indicate sort of like what you've been thinking about, which is that the social aspect is kind of what's making things feel a bit more difficult for you. And that's being affirmed through the cards, but also that the cards are saying that there is potential for a lot more, and that you're not just like stuck forever, like alone. Like, that's not it. The cards are saying that they want you to be more gracious towards yourself, be a bit more nicer, allow yourself to dive into what feels good, what brings you pleasure and joy, what you feel are your strong suits in spending time with other people, and communicate your needs. Don't feel guilty about communicating your needs, because friends will be there for you, and your friends, I'm sure, would rather see you than not see you at all. So yeah, that is your reading, and hopefully it gives you a bit more direction or insight in terms of what you can kind of look at or do if you want. I'm not your parents, I can't tell you what to do, but if you want, you can do something you feel inspired to do. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your patience, and again for the subs, and for being here, and for the conversation as well. because there was a response, a conversation. But I wish you the very best in this, because I know it's not really like, it's kind of like that fight between, well, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of this work and job, but also like all this other stuff that you're kind of contending with in this new routine. I totally get it. So I hope it works out, and no need to apologize for that. It is all good. I didn't consider it rambling. I thought it was pretty good context and like a conversation. Alright, well, it is 1 minute past midnight here, and this is all I have energy for tonight. So hopefully, if there's anyone who is looking for a reading next time, I am aiming to stream every week. So please do join in next week if you would like a reading, or you can come visit my Ko-fi here, and also linked in my About section, ko-fi.com/crossroadstarot. If you want any paid readings which are written, detailed, and include elements of tarot, oracle, and channeling as well. But for now, this is all I've got time for tonight. So thank you for being here and for spending some time and chilling out. Glad you enjoyed it. Measuring. You have a good sleep, because you said that it was past your bedtime. Mary, no worries. You're welcome, and you're welcome as well, Neppy. Glad to be back too. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. We haven't raided anyone in ages. There's a few people in the tarot category, which is cool. Maybe if I rate this person, what's the red button? Here it is. Good night, catch you next time.